Welcome to Module 4, Chapter 1 of our journey into data protection authorities and oversight. In this chapter, we dive into the crucial framework established by the Act. The Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023, DPDP Act, establishes a robust system for the enforcement of data protection laws, with the Data Protection Board of India, DPB, being at the center of this system. This chapter provides an in-depth look at the role, functions, and powers of the Data Protection Board, as well as the importance of data protection officers, DPOs, and their role in ensuring compliance with the Act. Data protection authorities and oversight. Role of the Data Protection Board of India. The Data Protection Board of India is the central regulatory authority responsible for ensuring compliance with the DPDP Act, investigating complaints, and taking enforcement actions against violations of the Act. It ensures that data processing activities are conducted in a manner that is compliant with the law, safeguarding the rights of data principals, the individuals whose data is being processed. Establishment and composition of the board. According to Section 18 of the DPDP Act, the central government establishes the Data Protection Board of India. The board is a body corporate with perpetual succession, meaning it continues to exist regardless of changes in its composition. The board has the ability to acquire property, enter into contracts, and take legal action in its name. Composition. The board consists of a chairperson and several members appointed by the central government. At least one of the members must have expertise in law, while others should have expertise in areas like technology, data governance, or related fields. Powers and functions of the board. The Data Protection Board plays a key role in regulating and enforcing data protection laws in India. Some of the essential functions of the board include: 1. Investigating complaints. The board has the authority to investigate complaints related to personal data breaches or violations of rights under the DPDP Act. It ensures that data fiduciaries comply with the law and take corrective actions where necessary. 2. Issuing directions and orders. The board can issue directions to data fiduciaries or data processors to take remedial actions. It has the power to impose penalties and take enforcement actions. 3. Adjudicating disputes. In cases where there is a violation of the DPDP Act, the board has the power to adjudicate the matter and determine the consequences, including penalties and compliance actions. Example: if a social media platform is found guilty of a data breach, a data principal X can file a complaint, and the Data Protection Board will investigate and take necessary enforcement actions, such as issuing a fine or requiring the company to improve security measures. Functions of the board and enforcement mechanisms. The Data Protection Board has a comprehensive mandate that includes investigatory, adjudicatory, and corrective functions. Below are some of its critical functions and powers. Investigations and enforcement. 1. Personal data breaches. The board investigates personal data breaches and violations of the DPDP Act. It can impose penalties or direct the data fiduciary to implement corrective measures such as enhancing security protocols or compensating affected data principals. 2. Processing complaints. When a data principal files a complaint, the board evaluates the validity of the complaint and determines if there has been a breach of the DPDP Act. 3. Penalties. If a violation is found, the board has the authority to impose monetary penalties and issue compliance orders. These penalties serve as a deterrent to prevent future violations and ensure adherence to the DPDP Act. Key powers of the board. 1. Adjudicatory powers. The board has the power to adjudicate disputes related to personal data processing. It holds powers similar to those of a civil court under the Code of Civil Procedure, 1908. This includes the ability to summon witnesses, examine evidence, and enforce compliance with the Act. Issuing notices and orders. The board can issue show-cause notices, interim orders, or final rulings. These orders may include directing the deletion or destruction of personal data, cessation of data processing activities, imposing monetary fines. 3. Recommendations. Although recommendations made by the board are not legally binding, they carry significant weight in shaping future regulatory policies and enhancing data protection standards. Example: if a bank, data fiduciary, fails to implement adequate security measures and exposes customer data, the board may fine the bank and direct it to enhance security protocols to safeguard sensitive information. Appointment and powers of data protection officers. The Data Protection Officer, DPO, is a key figure in ensuring that organizations comply with data protection regulations under the DPDP Act. This chapter explains the role of DPOs, particularly within significant data fiduciaries. Appointment of Data Protection Officers. Section 10(2)(a) of the DPDP Act mandates that significant data fiduciaries must appoint a DPO. This individual acts as the point of contact between the organization and the Data Protection Board and data principals. The DPO's primary responsibility is to ensure that all data protection policies and procedures are in place and that they are being followed by the organization. Role and responsibilities of the DPO. The DPO has several critical responsibilities under the DPDP Act, including 1. Monitoring data protection compliance. The DPO ensures that the organization adheres to all data protection policies and procedures to protect personal data. 2. Coordinating with the board. The DPO acts as a liaison between the organization and the Data Protection Board to address any investigations, complaints, or requests for compliance. 3. Training and awareness. The DPO is responsible for conducting training sessions to raise awareness about data protection laws and ensuring that all employees understand and comply with data protection policies. 4. Data Protection Impact Assessments, DPIA. The DPO oversees the DPIAs for high-risk data processing activities to assess the potential impact on privacy and mitigate risks. Powers of the DPO. The DPO holds a central role within the organization, and their key powers include 1. Advising on compliance. The DPO provides guidance on the interpretation of the DPDP Act and recommends actions to ensure compliance. 2. Monitoring data protection practices. The DPO audits and ensures that all data protection practices are aligned with legal and regulatory requirements. 3. Reporting to senior management. The DPO directly reports to senior management, especially when compliance issues or breaches arise. Example, a telecom company processes a large volume of personal data. As a significant data fiduciary, the company must appoint a DPO who will ensure compliance with the DPDP Act, conduct audits, and report breaches to the Data Protection Board. Key takeaways. 1. Data Protection Board. The Data Protection Board of India is a regulatory authority established by the DPDP Act to oversee compliance with data protection laws. The board has powers to investigate breaches, adjudicate disputes, and issue penalties. 2. Enforcement mechanisms. The board plays a critical role in enforcing compliance, issuing corrective actions, and imposing monetary fines to ensure adherence to the provisions of the DPDP Act. Data Protection Officers. Significant data fiduciaries must appoint a Data Protection Officer, DPO, to ensure compliance with the Act and serve as a liaison between the organization and the Data Protection Board. Through these mechanisms, the DPDP Act creates a strong compliance framework that aims to ensure personal data protection and safeguard the rights of data principals in India. In the next chapter, we will explore breach notification and response, detailing the requirements for notifying individuals and authorities in the event of a personal data breach under the DPDP Act. Thank you for joining this session. In the next lesson, we will explore the breach notification and response, diving deeper into how this vital code operates. See you soon. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more valuable legal insights and updates. youtube.com/prolegalminds. If you have any legal questions or need assistance, visit us at prolegalminds.com to connect with our expert team. We're here to help you navigate the complexities of the law with confidence. Stay informed, stay empowered. See you in the next session.